All right, it's about 7:40 the next day. We are just now starting to get a little bit of solar input. You can see it's kind of toggling and teetering between a little bit of something and nothing. So far, the highest we saw was like 70 watts or whatever. This battery's about to die, but I think we're going to be good to go. You know, once the sun starts coming out a little more. This dog's crying and crying and crying like a little baby. She wants me to throw the hot dog and just never stop throwing the hot dog. I've been throwing the hot dog. I've been doing my chores, but I can't throw the hot dog all day. So you can see, got the sun coming up right here behind these trees. I'm gonna move this little cart because I got some work to do anyhow, but let's see how the day goes. I'm going to be doing some little updates here and there, and we will see how the system starts to work out. I didn't see what time they sent it, but Pecron did email me back. Hear the crying? Dog shows up, a mean, aggressive, hungry, homeless dog, and now she's a spoiled crybaby. Anyhow, so Pecron emailed me back over the night. They said that my extra battery, you know, it's out of stock. Everything's been out of stock. So I understood that I got a pre-order deal, okay, and I guess this waiting thing is part of it. It's supposed to ship, or that they're going to get it at the end of this month, and then it'll ship out from then. And they offered me, you know, a $20, I don't know what you want to call it, a $20 refund or whatever for my troubles. So I mean, it's not really helping anything, but it is a gesture. If you have a business, you know these guys have a new product that they're trying to sell, and they're giving discounts out to sell the product, and then everybody's upset because they chose to take the pre-order deal and they're not willing to wait. They just wanted a good deal. I am having an issue that seems to be an issue everybody's having. I cannot connect to the app. My phone, I have an iPhone 14 and my iPad Gen 10 do not see the Wi-Fi. Like when I go through this whole process, they don't see the Pecron unit. My Bluetooth does not see the Pecron unit. And every time I go to pair, it basically, I forget the verbiage, but it basically says, it's timing out. I've done a little research into it, and it seems like everybody's having this problem and they're trying to work on it. I think that will probably end up just being some type of a software update of some sort. Apparently they've updated the application a time or two. It sounds like one person was saying that if you have a Wi-Fi router, which I don't, I plan on getting Starlink here soon, but you can set your router to some certain bandwidth and be able to pair. But some people are saying that it'll pair, but it keeps dropping off. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully they can get that together, because everybody's got apps. Like I've got these diesel heaters that have Bluetooth. I've got these air booster fans from Air Infinity that have apps, and they connect to Bluetooth. Stop crying. It's enough crying. And these are cheap items, like the diesel heater. I paid $90 for after like a little coupon, and that Bluetooth app works great. And then the same thing with the AC Infinity. I got a 12-inch blower motor in there. That thing works great, and the Bluetooth will connect from there with me inside over here, which is a pretty long distance. So not having an app work, when you feature an app and everybody else features an app, like that's not good. I don't know. I don't see myself at this point in the game needing the app desperately. Now with the diesel heater, I can adjust the temperature output and fan speeds and see what battery voltage is on the battery that powers the blower motor and the glow plug and whatnot. So I feel like the app is more important for the diesel heater than it is this. But let's say I had Starlink and or Wi-Fi, and I wanted to see, hey, where's my battery at while I'm on vacation or out of town or something. You know, I can't do that, and that was something that I would like to do. So we'll see how that goes. Non-functioning app is a pretty big downfall at this point in time. You know what I mean? Everybody's got apps that work, and if you have a feature that doesn't work as a company, it kind of makes you look like a clown. And I'm not saying they're clowns, I'm just saying it's not a good look. Anyhow, I'll touch back as things progress here today. If you listen, you can hear the fans coming on. I know fan operation seems to be a big topic on all of these. I don't know if you want to call it a solar generator or a whole house backup unit, whatever it is. All the different brands they talk about it. I've heard a lot of people say that the Pecron's fans are loud, they run a lot. Somebody said it sounds like there's rocks in the fan. I think a couple people have had problems. All right. To me, and I'm a picky person, okay? That's quiet. That's not loud to me. I can hear it, but it's not overwhelmingly loud. If you look up here, I've got my control unit for the AC Infinity blower motor that I have. It picks up, see right there, got a 6-inch duct. It picks up there, so it basically pulls any hot air from down here, puts it upstairs, and then it will cycle the air back through this hole here. There's the AC unit, and then this is the ladder where you get up and down. But anyhow, so that cycles the air around. Now, that fan, I believe I've got it on, it's on 2 now, okay? So I had it on 2 at night, so it's not very loud. I normally keep it on 3 or 4 to help keep the temperature between upstairs and downstairs a little more stable. They're normally a few degrees apart. But that fan up there on 3 or 4 is louder than this unit. And I really honestly don't think that the noise level, I don't find that to be annoying. I don't find that to be unreasonable. Fans aren't silent. It's just the way it goes. It's a mechanical item, okay? You know, and having been a mechanic my whole life, people don't understand, you know, this is a piece of equipment, it's a piece of machine. You know, everybody would love things to be silent, but they just aren't. So, I mean, if that bothers you, I don't know what to tell you. This is a very small space in here. Okay, it's 8x8 external dimensions, and then you can see the walls and the ceiling. It's all wood. Okay, you know, I've got a shirt and a sweater hanging up over here, but there's nothing to deaden the sound in here. The sound quality is probably not that great down here because of that. But yeah, I think people who are complaining about the noise of the fan are either overly picky or they actually have a mechanical problem with their fan. Alright, it is 9:41 now. When I originally had looked at the solar input this morning, we were starting to get something around 740. I'm try and focus in on this. So this shows our solar input. My 150 watt panel isn't doing much right now. It's at 5 watts. And then I've got 2 strings. They should come out to, let's see, 3, 6, 9. I think it's like around 1200 watts or so. Just under that, 1100 and something. I forget what the numbers are. But we're getting a total of 931 watts of solar input. And let's see here. I guess maybe it's got to go back to, I don't know. This is new to me, so I'm not seeing. Let's see here, switch. Okay, there we go. So we got 20% battery so far. I'm not really drawing much as far as power goes. Just, you know, 73 watts. So I think for me right now, since I'm still waiting for this extra battery, I don't really have the storage capacity that I need, and I'm not sure what the solar input's going to be like. This is my first solar system. it looks like we're getting enough right now to run what I need to run. At the very minimum, based on what I was running yesterday, I was pulling under 600 watts, so I can sustain that and charge the battery at the same time. So since then, I've taken and put a 3-way plug onto this 30 amp output. That cord is rated for 1800 watts continuous, so I'm basically powering just about everything inside of this place off of that, and I'll be sending power over to the harbor hut next door with that as well. So all of this is just kind of temporary wiring, so don't get hard on me or anything. Let's take a look at what we got going on. Just got everything kind of just ran through the window right now. Eventually I'll do it in conduit and everything like that. But so this power cord that you see here, that goes over to the generator. That's 100 foot. It's rated for 1800 watts continuous. And what I think I'm going to do is, you know, in the morning when I wake up, I'm going to fire the generator up and allow that to actually charge the battery itself before I leave for work. You know, you can see these panels, they need to be cleaned, but they, you know, they're laying down, they're not at the correct pitch. You know, we've got the sun coming out of that direction now, not south facing or anything like that, but they are getting full sun on the panels, so we're getting some decent solar input. It's at least usable. The dog, man, she's just won't stop with the crybaby stuff, man. She's wanting to get wild and crazy. She's not happy being on the zip line. If you're not watching these videos, she's been banned from the neighbor's house for chasing their cats, and she is on the suspect list for killing 5 laying hens. So looking at maybe getting her one of those spot on GPS collars. But anyhow, that's what we've got so far. This seems to be working. Hopefully we don't have too much input and create a problem that way. She must see something. There must be something out there. But anyhow, that's good news. So we'll see how this goes. All right, well, it is 4:30. Been running this thing all day, and I would say the battery's been charged ever since before lunch, and it just kind of, you know, pulls in, I guess, whatever it thinks it needs. Right now, got 2 ACs running and whatever else. You know, that's what we're pulling in, about 639 watts. We've been pulling in around 1500 in solar right now. And I guess because the battery's charged all the way, you can see it dropped way down. It's only pulling in whatever it needs to keep the battery at 100% and then to satisfy the load. So you can see the load, meaning the wattage that we're drawing, the lower number, 645, 644. The top, which is the solar input, I guess the charge controller only really brings in, you know, what it thinks it needs to keep the battery topped off and to satisfy the draw needs. So yeah, this seems to be going pretty good. It seems like the solar array that I have has quite a bit more power than what we need for what we're doing right now. So if I was to add extra batteries, I don't think, you know, getting those to charge to 100% with the solar array that I have now would be an issue. So hopefully I get that second battery before too long, and we can see what life is like with that extra battery, and then, you know, keep adding from that point forward. So everything seems to be going pretty good. Little doggy here still being a big crybaby. She came in, it's pretty hot outside. Miss Lily, aka the potato, she's just been chilling in the AC all day. She's over it all, you know, except for the snacks. You bring the snacks out and it breathes new life into her. But this guy here, girl, super high maintenance. All right, well, it is 8:30 now. The last little video segment I did was at 4:30. We only have 10 watts of solar input at this time, just dropped to zero. Solar's dropped off, you know, quite a bit in the last few hours, and we're down to 48% on the battery. I shut off the air conditioner in the harbor hut over there, so now we're down to just, you know, one air conditioner, refrigerator, fridge, blower motor for the HVAC. So we're running about that 570 watt load. I'm going to put the air conditioner actually on eco mode. That way I can stretch the battery life out longer. Now I think if I had a normal sunny day, and when I get this additional battery that's going to be coming, I think I'd be okay. I'd like to expand from there, but I think what I originally ordered was this unit, and the additional battery would be enough to hold me over with the solar input that I got. But so far so good. Still can't pair the app. I had emailed them about that this morning. I'm waiting to hear back what they have to say about that, so we'll see. But that's going to probably be the last update for today. I think I'm going to before bed, I'm going to fire up the generator and charge this thing up prior to going to bed, and I'll be running the AC this night. So we'll see what goes on in the morning. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to run through a first day of operation and just share my experience with this unit. They've been out for a while, but you know, it's not the most popular unit that's available out there. So, you know, any use feedback is, you know, good. And then also too, using it in this off-grid setting is a good test for people that want to use it in the scenario of power outages. You know, just kind of showing what's what and what goes on. I think if you didn't want to do a solar array and you had, you know, a decent generator to charge this, that would be okay. If you're using that 30 amp plug and you have a generator that can, you know, handle that load for an extended period of time, I think you could charge up, you know, if you had just this unit and maybe one extra battery in probably like 2 hours, so you'd only have to deal with the generator running for 2 hours, and then you could, you know, get back to enjoying the peace and quiet again. All right, well, I appreciate y'all watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.